Netflix's It's What's Inside is a wild ride packed with hilarious twists, leading to an ending that raises many questions like who ends up in which body. The horror comedy starts by establishing Shelby and Cyrus' unhappy sex life, which Shelby doesn't know is caused by his love for Nikki. The pair and 5 other It's What's Inside characters head to their friend Ruben's mansion the night before his wedding to play games. Forbes, an estranged friend who hasn't spoken to the rest in years after a fight at a birthday party, brings a suitcase that can swap people's bodies. As shown in the It's What's Inside trailer, he proposes that they play a mafia-inspired game where they swap bodies and have to guess who's who. The group agrees, playing 2 rounds. Each character uses this opportunity to explore their secret desires. However, the game goes awry when Ruben and Brooke die while in Dennis and Maya's bodies. The group quickly starts bickering about how to handle the situation, building up to the Sundance movie's fast-paced ending that explores how we see ourselves and others. Who ends up in which body at the end of It's What's Inside? The last body swap didn't follow either Shelby's or Nikki's plan. After Ruben and Brooke die in Dennis and Maya's bodies, everyone starts panicking about what will happen. There's no way to put Dennis and Maya back in their own bodies, since the vessels died when the consciousness died. Consequently, the argument quickly becomes whether everyone should stay in their present bodies or if the 4 should go back into their bodies while Dennis takes Ruben's body and Maya takes Brooke's body. The situation becomes even more complicated when Forbes tries to run off with the suitcase. Shelby, the other person who knows how to operate the machine, refuses to go back and makes a plan to double-cross the group. After the action-packed climax of Netflix's It's What's Inside, only 2 characters end up in their own bodies, Shelby and Cyrus. In a shocking twist, Beatrice was inside Forbes' body the entire movie and transferred herself into Nikki's body at the end. Meanwhile, Maya was put into Brooke's, Dennis was put into Forbes', and Nikki was put into Ruben's. Ultimately, the last body swap was the final step in Beatrice's nefarious plan. Why Beatrice took over Forbes' body? Beatrice seeks revenge for her high school trauma. Nikki and Forbes look scared in It's What's Inside. The biggest shock at the end of It's What's Inside is that Beatrice was inside Forbes' body the entire time. It turns out Beatrice stole Forbes' body, knowing about his wedding party invite. She wanted revenge specifically on Dennis for what happened at the birthday party 8 years earlier. Though it's never overtly stated, it seems that she planned the whole time to stick Dennis in a body he didn't want and steal his money based on the ending. However, her revenge plot quickly morphs to include Ruben as well, since she learns that he also helped blame Beatrice and Forbes for the fight at the birthday party 8 years prior. She places individuals in his body that will be sexual with another person, presumably to wreck his wedding the next day. It's simply a happy coincidence that Ruben dies while in Dennis' body. There's also a possibility she punished Nikki by putting her in Ruben's body because of jealousy, though that's not confirmed as being malicious. Then, at the last minute, she adds Cyrus to the plan, too, though he wasn't involved in the inciting incident. The real reason Beatrice helped Shelby punish Cyrus. Cyrus treats Shelby the same way Dennis treated Beatrice. Shelby and Cyrus hold hands while sitting on the couch in Netflix's It's What's Inside. An interesting twist in Beatrice's plan is the fact that she helps Shelby punish Cyrus by placing him back inside his body, knowing whoever was in that body would go to jail for murder and robbery. At first glance, this seems like a selfless act, since Cyrus had no part in Forbes getting expelled or her going to a mental facility after the birthday party. However, her decision to help Shelby makes sense when Forbes reveals Beatrice's motivations. Before the party's events, Beatrice was in a relationship with Dennis, who lied to her about his feelings. Though Shelby and Cyrus have been together for much longer than Dennis and Beatrice ever were, there are multiple parallels between the 2 relationships. Like Dennis, Cyrus says many things to Shelby that he doesn't mean. He assures her of his love despite being obsessed with Nikki. He promises to marry her, telling her his feelings for their friend are in the past, and then agrees to the body swap so that she'll look like Nikki. Beatrice empathizes with Shelby because they have both been betrayed by men, leading her to place Cyrus back in his body at the end of It's What's Inside. Does Shelby have a crush on Forbes in It's What's Inside? A Polaroid picture shows Shelby smiling in It's What's Inside. After the second body swap, Shelby ends up in Nikki's body and Cyrus in Forbes' body. Shelby sees it as an opportunity to try the sex idea they had earlier in the movie, pretending to be someone else. She asks Cyrus to call her Nikki, and she calls him Forbes. Consequently, he accuses her of having secret feelings for Forbes. While It's What's Inside doesn't directly confirm either way, there are many reasons to believe that Shelby does not have feelings for Forbes.